So what is a required minimum distribution anyway? Also known as RMD. An RMD is a forced distribution when you turn age 73 from your pre-tax retirement accounts. Things such as traditional IRAs, 403Bs, 457Bs, 401Ks, etc. Now, it does not apply to your Roth IRA accounts, but Roth employer plans will require an RMD, but more on that later. So now that you know what an RMD is, let's talk about what you can do. There are several things to consider here. So consideration number 1, if you're still working, you're not required to take an RMD from your current employer plan. This is known as the still working exception rule. Now keep in mind, employer plans are not required to allow the exception, so you have to check the plan document to see if it's allowed. Any IRAs or old employer plans you have outside of your current employer plan would still require a mandatory distribution. So one strategy to consider is to roll your previous employer plan or traditional IRAs into your current employer plan if you're still working beyond the age of 73. By doing so, you can delay the RMD until you retire. As always, be sure to consult your tax professional for advice. All right, consideration number 2, understanding the RMD aggregation rules across multiple retirement accounts. So what are the RMD aggregation rules? Basically, it's this. Let's say that you're retired and you have 3 employer plans. One employer plan cannot be used to meet the RMD for multiple employer plans. In that scenario, you'd have to take a distribution from each one of those accounts to meet the RMD requirement. However, one IRA can be used to meet the RMD for multiple IRAs. As well, one 403B can be used to meet the RMD requirement for multiple 403Bs. If you have 3 IRAs, you can total the RMD up for the year and take a larger distribution from one, leaving the other 2 IRAs intact. Now, this can be a useful strategy if you structure your IRAs, one that's conservative, one that's moderate, and one that's aggressive. Remember, the RMD is based on the December 31st previous year balance. So for example, if you're experiencing a down stock market, the following year you could use a conservative IRA to cover the RMD for all your IRAs and not touch the aggressive account, giving it time to rebound. Consideration number 3 has to do with Roth employer plans, Roth 457Bs, 401Ks, and 403Bs. Your Roth employer plan is a Roth, and it does distribute tax-free, assuming you've met the 5-year rule and it's a qualified distribution. However, Roth employer plans are employer plans. You are required to take an RMD from your pre-tax employer plan each year, and it works the same way for your Roth employer plan each year. But there's good news ahead because starting in 2024, due to recent legislation passed in the Secure Act 2.0, RMDs are no longer required on Roth employer plans. That's it. As I mentioned earlier, Roth IRAs are not required to distribute an RMD. Consider having a conversation with a financial advisor or tax professional to see if moving your Roth employer plan to your Roth IRA makes sense. All right, folks, so that's it. To learn more about RMDs for yourself and your beneficiaries, both spousal and non-spousal, be sure to attend my seminar where I give you all the facts so you can make informed decisions regarding your accounts and your planning. Also, if you enjoyed the video, please feel free to pass it along to your friends, family, and colleagues so they can get some great information as well. Take care, and thank you for your time.